You won't forget. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. That's 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by Donley Auctions.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea. We were meant to live free. Free to pursue our future, work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from pain. I tried everything and anything to help me get rid of my pain, and nothing freed me. It just masked the pain, and the side effects diminished my quality of life. I'm sure you have been there if you have real bad pain. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based formula that is designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. And it is not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from the inside out, at the source. Relief Factor. It was created for people to get back to living their life on their terms. Is that you? Walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter? This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take your stand for your own freedom. Declare your independence from pain. Try Relief Factor today. $19.95, 3-week quick start. Ready for you right now. Visit relieffactor.com, 800-4-RELIEF.
This Mother's Day, give Mom something that shines as bright as she does. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. Roland's Jewelers is the perfect place for a gift to make Mother's Day unforgettable. Roland's has such a beautiful selection of jewelry, and I'm a long-time customer of Roland's. I love this place, and I want you to make Mom feel truly special with a stunning Simon G necklace, a Roberto coin bracelet to match her style, or sparkling diamond stud earrings. I love that Roland's is family-owned, and I appreciate their expertly trained sales specialist. Roland's will help you find that perfect gift because Mom deserves jewelry she'll cherish forever. Visit Roland's Jewelers, downtown Libertyville, or RolandsJewelers.com. That's ROLLANDS, RolandsJewelers.com. Roland's Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust this Mother's Day, like I do. RolandsJewelers.com, or call them 847-918-7300, 847-918-7300, Roland's Jewelers.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year. They want to make 2026 the best year ever. So to thank you, they are giving you free shipping on your entire order and wholesale pricing. So they are bringing back the mega sale. For example, the classic MyPillows, regularly $49.98, now only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the Made in the USA MyPillow My Mattress Topper and save up to $100. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98, or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY, or call 800-489-0201 and use promo code LIBERTY. These offers won't last long, so call 800-489-0201 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY. Order now and your entire order ships absolutely free.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Wealth Health Radio with Joe Murphy, Sundays noon to 1. Learn more online at mwmfinancial.tax.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
The following live program is sponsored by Breakthrough Ideas.
AM 560, The Answer. It's time for breaking news, expert insight, and informed commentary on what's happening in Springfield, Chicago, and beyond. Because an informed citizenry is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for The Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson.
Will they be the Chicago Bears, the Arlington Heights Bears, or the Hammond, Indiana Bears? Good morning, because we have some movement on the Chicago Bears this weekend in Springfield.
We'll see. We're not sure, but Marianne Ahern did a nice job putting in kind of everything together in one clip here. So take a listen.
That this is the week, and a big vote is coming. But from those who are moving the mega projects bill through the Illinois House, this is a very big week. Stadium expert Mark Gannis.
For the life of me, and I've worked on dozens of these projects, I have never seen a state government act in this manner.
Will this be the week in Springfield? State Representative Cam Buckner has been navigating the mega projects bill that would give Arlington Heights the property tax certainty it wants, perceived, though, as a tax break for critics like Stacey Davis Gates, who is president of two powerful unions, the Chicago Teachers and the Illinois Federation of Teachers.
I think that the Illinois Federation of Teachers is a important stakeholder group. And I've had conversations with them, and they've been able to give me some thoughts and some ideas that I've been able to insert into the working draft of the amendment.
Well, Mr. Ganis better, just listen up. This is Illinois. We do things differently.
I think it's finally starting to sink in that we're kind of a messed up government-run entity here. So, yes.
What a perfect comment, though, on Illinois. Never seen a state act like this.
And he's a stadium expert. That's all he does.
Well, here to discuss that and much, much more is State Representative Brad Halbrook. He is a representative for the 107th State Representative District down in Central Illinois, and he's been a leader on this issue and all sorts of other ones. And we're going to start by talking to him about da Bears and da deal. And welcome, Brad. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Amy. It's great to be here.
So what do you think? What's going to happen? I mean, the rumor is apparently that the Democrats are going to go to caucus today and come out, voila, here comes a deal after 5 hours of discussion.
Well, it's going to be interesting, as it always is. I think it'll be down to the wire, and we are kind of getting down to the wire. We've got 3 days this week. We're out a week, and then we come back. I think there's 19 days after this week left in the legislative session. So we're getting down to the witching hour here, without a doubt. But I think this most interesting development with Chicago Teachers Union weighing in could really wrinkle up the whole thing. That's just kind of my thoughts.
Well, why is Stacey Davis Gates against this idea, against this pilot, the payment in lieu of taxes bill?
That's a great question. I mean, any union, any public sector union always wants more tax money. So I would have to say, at the very minimum, they feel like some dollars are going to slip away, and they don't want that to happen. They always have a demand for more money.
But I mean, they're even if this were to go to Arlington Heights, it really wouldn't impact Chicago Public Schools school districts at all. It would more impact Arlington Heights area. So I don't know what their beef is.
Yeah, that's beyond me too. I'm not sure either. I guess maybe we'll find that out over the next coming hours. Hopefully we will. Hopefully all the details will hopefully emerge sooner than later.
Well, I know there were about 3 Republicans that were noted in an article that they were kind of making their own deal with Andy Manar, one of Governor Pritzker's assistant governors. How many does he have? I don't know. What are we paying them? But anyway, I digress.
Well, so hopefully he's paying himself out of his own pocket.
Well, he's doing that, and I don't even know if that's legal. But so apparently the Republicans, a couple of them are trying to get in on a deal. I mean, I know that you've sort of almost taken the position. I don't know if it's a formal position, but hey, if the Bears get a deal, then everybody gets a deal. But then it sounds like we're on the same side as the CTU and the IFT and Stacey Davis Gates.
Well, again, that makes for an interesting dynamic without a doubt. But right, so if a certain geographical area can negotiate property tax relief or some level of property tax reform, then it ought to be good for the entire state, right? If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And I think that is my position. That if one is going to get some property tax reform, the entire state does, and it has to be meaningful. It can't be nickels and dimes. It has to be real, and it has to amount to a lot, because the taxpayers of the state of Illinois are just, they're just done with this. We continue to see the outmigration. I'm sorry we keep talking about the outmigration, but it's real, and it's happening. To the tune of billions of dollars of adjusted gross income have left the state of Illinois to tax states with low or no taxes, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, Arizona, whatever the case might be.
Well, what do we know about the meeting? Because Bears executives earlier this week met with Indiana officials at a Hammond golf course just steps away from where the proposed stadium would be built. What was discussed?
Yeah, I'm not privy to those details, so I don't know what that was. I'm hoping to find out today just exactly what was discussed, so that as the thing moves forward, we can have all the information to make an informed decision about it.
Well, we know how these things work out. First of all, the unions typically get something. They never walk away with nothing.
Right. That's why she inserted herself, Stacey Davis Gates, who's in charge of the CTU and the Illinois Federation of Teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the problem here is that they want more money for education, any sort of property tax deal would be more localized than CPS. So if they're saying you give a tax break, which is a local tax break for the most part, to the Bears, then you have to give us something in return. And if she's doing that, she's expecting money to come from the state taxpayers. So I think they're going to put some sort of deal together, and that's frightening.
Right, and I don't know that maybe what is on the table today is what we're going to ultimately see. I think it's a very fluid moment. I think it's very safe to say it's very fluid, and I think this thing is going to kind of ebb and flow, and we're going to see multiple iterations over the next several hours or days as this thing continues to unfold. That's just my take. That's kind of what we've seen in the past.
Well, we know one place where they could save some money, and I think you've already called for this commission to go away, and that's the Equity and Inclusion Commission. This commission shall have a role in all state and university procurement by facilitating communications between Business Enterprise Council for minorities, women, and persons with disability, the purchasing entities, and chief procurement officers and others. The commission may create a scoring evaluating for state agency directors, public university presidents, on and on and on. Oh, by the way, the commission also looks for, has oversight over the Illinois African American Family Commission, the Illinois Latino Family Commission.
Don't forget about the Asians.
Yes. It goes on and on.
And the Muslim American Advisory Council, and goes on.
I mean, so this is the commission. And by the way, all these commissions cost you money. But anyway, these commissioners, the 7 of them, make almost $150,000 and
a year. And what do they do for $150,000 of our tax dollars?
Well, I looked it up. They have
bake sales, possibly, Jeannie?
One monthly meeting.
One. Okay.
Okay. And then they have some subcommittee meetings, but last year there were no more than 20 meetings of those. So, Brad, what is going on? Because I know you drilled them in committee, and I appreciate your efforts there.
Well, thank you. And so thanks to the reporting of the Center Square, we made a floor speech about this very matter about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, which kind of got the attention of a lot of people. This commission did come before our House Appropriations Committee last Wednesday night. The director and her team were there, and so we began to ask them kind of about what's going on there. And we saw this drop in vendors that they deal with from 5,400 to about, under 2,800, so nearly a 50% drop in entities that the state of Illinois can do business with. And so that was kind of a question. What are you doing? What's going on? Why are these vendors dropping off? Well, it's a computer thing. It's a software thing. And so we couldn't really, the more we asked, the more questions we asked, I think the worse it got for them. The situation become less clear. I asked them about the directors. I said, do they actually vote on anything? What do the commissioners, do they actually vote on anything? What do they do? And so the director, Wilson, she had a kind of a long laundry list of things that they do. And so I said, basically, oversight is it. She never did, to the best of my knowledge, ever say that they voted on anything. And, what's interesting is they're not barred from holding outside or other jobs or businesses. Many other agency or commissioners earn a much lower salary. They are barred from any other outside employment or outside income. But this agency, the commissioners, they just seem to kind of have free reign. It just is really interesting.
No, it's really depressing. I mean, but essentially you have called for this commission to basically go away because they used to not do minority business practice investigations this way, right? It's a fairly new commission. Right. So the commission came into existence, I believe, January of 2022. We're trying to get a handle on Pritzker's term. Pritzker.
Yeah, no, yes. The 7 members were appointed by Pritzker. Yeah. These are all governor appointees, as well as the director and all the like. And so I think it came into existence in January 2022. We're trying to get a handle on exactly how much money this agency has spent. We think it's somewhere around 28 to 30 million or more. And again, we've seen this huge drop off in vendors. And so we have called. And what's interesting here is it was kind of led. The discussion started out with Representative Cuellar asked a kind of an interesting question, and she did not get the response that she wanted. And it began as the afternoon or the evening unfolded, that it became clear that the answers we needed were not getting disclosed. And so Chairman Rita asked that
probably sometime sooner than later that this commission would come back before the appropriations panel. I've never seen that happen before. Jeannie, you were down here for 6 years. You were probably on a probes committee.
Yep.
Have you ever seen a commission or an agency ever get called back to justify their appropriations?
No.
I haven't.
No.
I've not.
No.
So this is very telling.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you for being on it, and thank you for speaking up, because you did a great job, calling out all the malfeasance. I appreciate that. And also Chapin Rose did, too, because they came before the Senate committee, and that's where it started to blow up, too. And then they get to the House, and boy, you guys were all ready, both sides, Democrat and Republicans. Nice to see some bipartisanship there on this one.
Right.
So I'm sure you'll keep us abreast of the next committee hearing and what happens there. But before I let you go, really quickly, I just wanted your comment on this. I mean, I find it so appalling. And the Tribune, to their credit, wrote this editorial. The owner of a massive Elwood energy plant isn't waiting for Illinois closure deadlines. They're literally moving the plant to Texas. They're literally putting on the back of tractor trailers a massive natural gas-fired power plant in Will County, and they're moving part of that facility to Texas. They're putting huge turbines on these flatbed trucks. And this will take out 900 megawatts of power when we need every bit of power, and especially this type of power, which is natural gas. It's reliable. It's really clean burning for the most part. And I mean, and then you read this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, this editorial is unbelievable. It's entirely blamed on the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, which you called out in 2021. We tried to stop it in September, which, by the way, the Tribune was all in for it back then. So finally, they're getting some religion. And this, and it's all because of CEJA. And they know CEJA is going to shut them down. By 2030, they would be shut down. And so they're like, forget it. This equipment's really hard to come by. It takes 5 to 7 years to procure it. We're just going to move it to Texas, who likes what we produce. Brad?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And Texas is a growing state. They need the energy. And again, you're right. This isn't like a nuclear power plant that you cannot move. This can be picked up, unbolted, and moved on down the road. And they're going to do that. They're not going to just sit idly by and let Springfield environmentalist Democrats tell them how to run the show. They are going to pack up and move, and so this is very evident. 900 megawatts to move offline out of that area is got to be devastating, or will be devastating. It's going to drive prices up, or continue to drive prices up. And so I don't understand how the Democrats are all in on the ideology of the clean new green scam, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever their stupid the day might be as far as their ideology may consist of. I just don't understand. They won't do the math, or they don't want it. They're just I don't know. It's beyond comprehension. I'm sorry, ladies. It's just beyond comprehension.
You're right. And by the way, that plant is located in Elwood, which is in Will County. And at the same time that they're going to lose 900 megawatts of reliable power, they're putting in a 2,500 acre 260 megawatt solar farm. It may be rated for 260 megawatts. It will only produce 30% of that with any sort of sense of reliability. And that is not enough to overcome 900 megawatt difference. But that's what they're doing. This is the Pritzker agenda. He is closing off reliable energy, and it is going to be painful for the people here in Illinois.
Right. Well, and many people have referred to our governor as Fred Flintstone, and I think he's doing his level best to drive us back to the Stone Age. And I mean, you better get your candles out, because you're going to need them.
Scary stuff. You need electricity to stay alive. So, all right, Brad, thank you so much for joining us, State Rep 107th District.
Thank you, ladies.
We'll have you back, because a lot of information and a lot of follow-ups. And I don't know. I'm holding my breath about the Bears, but half of me thinks that they're going to go to Hammond.
Yeah, I'm thinking that
part
too
of me,
now.
I should say, not half of me. Half of my body thinks they're moving to Hammond. All right, coming up on The Real Story, only in Illinois, dead people scheduled to serve on a jury. We'll tell you about that after the break.
Exposing the lies and the misinformation from the politicians and the media. This is The Real Story on AM 560. The Answer.
Penny Mustard presents single-seat mini sofas.
Those are not single-seat sofas.
They're plush. They have fabric, and you sit on them. So what are they?
Penny Mustard's new line of upholstered dining chairs.
Aren't they gorgeous?
These unique chairs take your dining experience to a whole new level.
The finest dining chairs masquerading as single-seat mini sofas you'll ever see.
The new upholstered dining chair collection, starting at $9.16 at Penny Mustard.
6 Chicagoland showrooms.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Picture warm Gulf breezes, turquoise waters, white sand beaches. Now, add evenings of conversation with Salem Media's Mike Gallagher, Scott Jennings, Larry O'Connor, and Jennifer Horn. This November, sail from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Mexico on a 7-day journey built for those who love this country. Book your cabin today when you text the word cruise to 94878. Celebrate America's 250th anniversary the right way on the Gulf of America Cruise. Book your cabin now. Text the word cruise to 94878.
Let me ask you something. Does your garage floor look bad? Covered in salt, cracked, or stained from the winter's brutal blast? Well, I've got a fix for you so you can start enjoying your garage this spring. Contact my good friends at Level 10 Coatings. Level 10 brought my garage floor from dirty and gross to showroom, shiny new in just one day. Level 10 Coatings can do the same for you. A quick and easy fix, permanent durable solution. Guaranteed to never chip or peel. Get it done now so you can enjoy your garage this spring and summer. Schedule your free quote today and mention me, Amy, for $500 off. Visit level10coatings.com. That's level, the number 10, coatings.com. Level10coatings.com or call 855-510-2628. Again, that's 855-510-2628. Level 10 Coatings, your premier concrete coating experts.
Whether you are old or young, no one likes to lose money. The market is at an all-time high. How much risk does your portfolio really have in it? Are you worried that you could lose your hard-earned money? Call TJ Stearns in Arlington Heights at 800-640-2256 for your free risk report. Call right now and we will include a full analysis of your portfolio. Don't wait until it's too late. Call TJ Stearns, a local and longtime sponsor on AM 560. Call 800-640-2256. Call now and tell him AM 560 sent you.
Did you know most remodeling mishaps start before construction even begins? Here's something else you should know. At Forever Remodeling, we do things differently. Every kitchen, bathroom, and basement project starts with smart planning, detailed 3D designs, a clear scope of work, and accurate pricing, all sorted out before you get started. No surprises, no stress, just beautiful results. Done right the first time. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, EVER, remodeling.com. And schedule your free in-home consultation today.
AM 560, The Answer.
Phone lines are always open, and you could always text us, call us, or text us at 312-642-5600. And if you missed the show, you could find our podcast, The Real Story, on Spotify or Apple. Text message, Jeannie and Amy, if the Bears leave Illinois, Pritzker will definitely be toast.
I don't believe it.
I know. I loved when Mayor Lightfoot's like, I dare them to leave Chicago. And then, yeah,
he's in a trick
box. They bought
box.
land in Arlington Heights the day after she said that.
But he is in a trick box. I mean, he gives them a massive deal and does a pittance or a small gesture to everybody else who owns property, has to pay property taxes. That looks terrible on him. He doesn't do a deal and the Bears leave. That looks terrible. He is in the hot box.
Okay. You called it a pit box?
I called it a trick box.
Oh, a trick box. I'm sorry.
Then I called it a hot box, like in baseball.
Or a penalty box. Let's go.
Penalty box.
Boxes. What's in
He's
the box?
In all of them.
Yeah. So let's go to John in Marengo. You're on The Real Story. Good morning, John. How are you?
How you doing? Hey, Jeannie, I was happy to have voted for you. I'm sorry the bad guy won. And Amy, I'm glad to hear you back on the radio.
Thanks, John.
But what I wanted to say is you guys pretty much said it. I am hoping that the Bears go to Indiana because I want that on J.B. Pritzker's resume. I will take the loss of the Bears to put that on J.B.'s resume for sure.
Well, that's saying a lot because that tells you how toxic the guy is to anybody who's kind of understood what he's done in the last 7.5 years.
So we may have something decided by the end of the week? or
I
after
don't believe
today's
it.
5-hour meeting.
No, I don't believe that.
I don't either. So this is a cat and mouse game continuing.
Totally.
All right, Jeannie, you would be very, very proud yesterday. For the first time that I can remember, because I've always tried to get CPS parents to talk to the mainstream media, to call into this station, Fox News. There'd only be like one conservative mom, and she took the brunt and the anger of all of the CPS teachers and the CTU for, speaking out. But yesterday, 24, because I counted,
That's
not
good.
1 dozen, but 24 parents were in front of an elementary school in Pilsen and pushing back against May Day, the day of civil action. So as you know, May Day, May 1st, is known as the International Workers' Day, and the CTU had, pushed this resolution to designate the day of no school, no work, no shopping. Okay. So, the new CEO of CPS said, no, they need to be in school. So yesterday, parents came together with some attorneys and said, no, we don't want to participate in this.
Children can make the choice with their parents to take an absence for civic action. Again, those are a choice that parents make with respect to their children. And I don't think anyone's disputing that. The question is when those choices get made for them.
And the thing is that Channel 5, once again, Marian Ahern, great job. She got the syllabus, the planned curriculum, folks. So if you decide to stay inside, because you could go to school, but you could go to an after-school protest, but they want to teach you about civic action during school. So the curriculum, this is for students, you guys, as young as preschool. We're talking 3 to 4-year-olds.
Are they finger painting posters?
Well,
anti-ice posters?
It's kind of worse than that.
Oh, no.
They're teaching them about social justice, transgender rights, and they're teaching them about protests. No 3-year-old needs to know about transgender. Stick to primary colors.
This is not about education. This is about politics, and we all know that very clearly, right? While we may not be lawyers up here, we are not naive, and we know exactly what CTU and CPS are doing with their children, and that is unacceptable and is completely irresponsible.
Now, the parents involved at that press conference are passing out an online petition asking CPS parents to also weigh in, and they're going to be at the school board meeting on Thursday because they want to know exactly what is going to be taught to their children.
There's already been $550,000 put into school board races, and the entire board will now be elected. Only half were before. Now this year, the entire 21-member board gets elected. So parents, why don't you pay attention to that? Let's go.
Larry Elder is multi-talented.
In California, Orange County man has pled guilty to submitting nearly $270 million in bogus claims to Medi-Cal. Ain't no fraud like West Coast fraud, because West Coast fraud don't stop. Don't stop. Mr. McConnell, maybe I should have gone on a career of rapping instead of talk radio. I have so much talent. I had more soul than I could control.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 8, right before Sean Hannity at 10 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Up against a ceasefire expiration, there's uncertainty around another round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran.
Both the U.S. and Iran are now sending signals they will be dispatching teams to Pakistan for another round of peace talks. But time is running out. The current 2-week ceasefire is set to end tomorrow night. In an interview, President Trump said he was confident the U.S. would come away with a great deal, but also said he expects to be bombing if that doesn't work out. Iran again said today it will not negotiate under the threat of force.
It's Fox's Greg Palcott. Members of the armed forces won't have to get a flu shot this year.
The notion that a flu vaccine must be mandatory for every service member everywhere in every circumstance at all times is just overly broad and not rational.
That is War Secretary Pete Hegseth. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect mostly cloudy skies with a breeze picking up and temperatures rising, reaching a high of 76. There's a chance of a thunderstorm in some areas, bringing gusty winds and small hail with any downpour. Tonight will be partly cloudy with fog developing later on, reducing visibility as the temperature drops to a low of 51. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new Energy Refreshers. Strawberry Acai, Mango Dragon Fruit, or the all-new Mango Strawberry. New Energy Refreshers, only at Starbucks.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-575-8924. 800-575-8924. That's 800-575-8924.
All right. You know I don't push products I don't believe in. So listen up, because this one I love and recommend to our friends and listeners. It's Virago Liquid Immune Support. I spoke with Dr. Huber. Actually, we're going to speak to him tomorrow, too. He's the creator of Virago. And let me tell you, I mean, this man knows immune health like nobody's business. He explained to me the stronger your immune system, the stronger your body fights back against viruses, disease, inflammation, all of it. That's why he created Virago. It's a liquid immune boosting supplement packed with 23 powerful ingredients working together in synergy. Antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and it even protects your heart, kidneys, and liver health seems to be the new craze these days. And because it's liquid, guess what? Your body absorbs it quickly. I mix Virago with my orange juice, and I feel the difference, and you will too. I just wish it got rid of allergies. Order your bottle of Virago today at myvirago.com. That's myvirago.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. Try it today. myvirago.com. Coupon code IMMUNE.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
AM 560, The Answer.
Are we back? We are back. Hey, all right. Sorry. I was busy getting some stuff done.
Is this thing on? And we're both wearing white. We're suffragettes this morning. We didn't plan it. I know, it's so funny.
Yeah, very funny.
Got a text message. Love you, ladies. The girls are on. Jazz hands. Like, okay, thank you.
Oh, my gosh. You're giving me PTSD from Waltz. Oh, Mr. Governor Jazz Hands.
Oh, yeah. You mean that guy? Yeah, he was speaking yesterday talking about he's a code talker.
No, tell me more.
Code talker for white dudes. Listen to this.
I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across the swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of the
Mr. Gesticulation, hello. Not a man's man. And then I just still love this story that they put the camo background on the hat that said Walls, VP Walls, and try to promote that he's a hunter or a gatherer. He's just a dude like you. And he's the exact opposite. But I'm so glad Kamala Harris picked him and not Ben Shapiro, because I think we might have had a different situation on our hands. I don't know. But that was her first decision and her worst decision.
Well, Kamala Harris was at it again, right?
Oh, yeah. She wants women to stick up for themselves. I'm going to get me something? What?
I think it's okay for us to be a bit transactional, too. And to say, I'm going to get mine also.
I'm going to get mine. Okay, I'm going to get mine.
And so don't count on me to be a voter and be the backbone of the Democratic Party, because it is my value system and my ethics and my sense of civic duty and responsibility, so that you look at me and say, oh, they're going to vote.
Hey, listen, I want that team again. I want that team.
She's running. I mean, she's making video vignettes about.
They don't even have to redo their signs. They can just keep them.
She's making video vignettes in southern states where gas prices aren't really that bad compared to here, saying gas prices are because of Trump's war. And then 1 second later, because there's no continuity director, her hair's then slicked back and she's wearing the same outfit and just spewing. I mean, it's just a hot mess. But you go, girl.
Right.
I want her to run.
I do.
Do it, because she is.
Back to Mr. Gannis, who earlier in our conversation today literally said he's never seen a state government act this manner.
He's a stadium expert, Mark Gannis, and Marianne Ahern interviewed him. Yes.
Never. Well, I mean, Illinois does take the cake. Well, here's another situation where we take the cake. Reading from the Daily Gazette in Sterling, Illinois, Charlene Belema wrote this article, 60 dead people found on Illinois' jury panel.
Wait, slow that down. How many?
60 dead people found on Illinois jury panel, triggering a constitutional challenge. A Whiteside County jury panel summoned for an April trial contains at least 60 dead people, including one person who died 35 years ago, raising allegations of systemic flaw in how Illinois compiles statewide jury lists, according to a motion filed by the defendant's attorney. The numbers are stark. Of the 200 people summoned for the jury duty in April, 60 are confirmed dead. The median age of the panel is 72, compared with 43 years for the Whiteside County's actual population, and not a single person younger than 42 was summoned. They say this is completely an improper jury pool because it does not really look at a jury of your peers. Continuing on in her article, in late March, the jury commission requested a fresh combined list of potential Whiteside County jurors from the Administrative Office of the Illinois Courts, a statewide agency responsible for compiling jury lists from voter registration, driver's license, and unemployment insurance data, and Illinois identification and Illinois persons with a disability identification card holders. The AOIC provided a list of more than 48,000 names, a number that immediately raised flags. Why? Because Whiteside County's total adult population is about 43,495. So the list contained about 4,500 more names than the entire adult population of the county. Well, here to discuss this and how this even happened is Willard Helander. She is the former Lake County clerk and an election integrity expert. And she knows exactly how this stuff happens and what we could do to solve it. Willard, thank you so much for joining us on the program and listening to our little preface there with Harrison Walls.
Good morning.
So how does this happen? What's going on here?
Well, it's very interesting because Illinois seems to always race to the bottom. And several things have happened through our General Assembly that have made the background of the National Voter Registration Act even worse. Because I should get background. When you cited that the list that the Administrative Office of Courts uses comes from the Secretary of State, the State Board of Elections, and the Illinois Department of Employment Security, I think reasonable people would agree that more people drive a car or have a state ID and register to vote than apply for unemployment. So the vast majority of those in the pool came from the merging of the data from those first two categories from the Secretary of State and the State Board of Elections. And as the attorney quoted in the Tribune article that I read, they're evidently not purging dead people from the list. And that gets into constitutional violations for a trial of your peers, which you've just cited all the statistics on it. So where do our errors and omissions come from? Well, they come from the fact that you can pinky promise to get on the voter rolls with a mail-in form under NVRA, but our General Assembly has made that bar even lower than a pinky promise, because in the case of deceased people, if your county clerk currently under the law has a requirement, only a mandatory shall language in the code, to remove dead people who are in the data that they have from their own county death. So that means if you had a car accident across the county line or went to a hospital in a larger county, your death record is not mandatory that it be addressed. But we are told that because the state has an electronic registry through the Department of Public Health and the state death registrar, that they may, the languages may use that information. And we are told that that information is given to the State Board of Elections and pushed out to the counties through the statewide voter registration system. But I've had a very large county where I live tell me they don't have that data. They've never seen it. So is there a lack of education? Is there a lack of ability for the data to be easily used? Or is there a decision, because we have another leg on that stool, in Illinois we have autonomy by the local election officials to determine who is added to the rolls and who is removed from the rolls, even though the State Board of Elections is the maintenance of the official statewide list under the federal law, Help America Vote Act. So it's sort of, they can point fingers at each other and say, well, I didn't get anything from you, or I don't have the ability to do it. And the state says, but I gave it to you and it's your job to do it. So it just doesn't get done. But further, I think our state really went to the very lowest bar. And a few years ago, forbid that the Secretary of State with the DMV licenses share any information about the people that they process their clients, no other government agency. And top of that list would be your election officials, who would get information on who's eligible for the voter rolls. And did they surrender a license? Were they not citizens? Or maybe did the family say cancel the license, they're dead? So we have this lockdown in what the consumer would think is the state's got all this data. Why is it not flowing to those that can use it? And even worse, the DMV has an automatic voter registration process, and it's really kind of a gray veil because we don't know how the computer system, do they all pull through, or do some pull through and you get to ask the person? No one has an answer or a clear picture, and it's not been audited. But right now, there are some simple ways to fix it. I found there is a bill currently out there. It's a House bill that would actually require the local officials to utilize the electronic registry, no longer make it discretionary, but make it mandatory.
I'm betting it's a Republican bill. I'm just betting it is.
It is.
Okay.
It is. I believe his name was Nieberg. You'll probably know that name.
Adam Nieberg.
Yeah.
Nieberg.
Okay.
Adam Nieberg. Yeah.
And that bill is a really important one that should be acted upon. It's in committee. There's another one that was submitted. I don't know if it's made it into any actual shell bill or other, and that was that no longer would you have to provide a certified copy of a death record to remove a loved one. Because if your local official is not accessing information in that electronic file, there's a requirement in the administrative rules that you must have a certified copy of a record. And when you think about especially the economy and the number of people, but also how many people in a family don't have a near close loved one that's going to notify anyone. But I saw in the article about the case in Whiteside County that when they interviewed McHenry County, they said in the jury pool matter, if a family member calls and tells them the person who's died, they remove them from the jury pool list. Just think about this. It's illegal in Illinois to do that with the voter rolls. So it's a circular door that you're going to go back on the jury pool list because they won't let a family member say, my relative died outside the county, outside the state, or outside the country.
Well, we have a text message. I heard from Cook County jury admins that they couldn't remove invalid jurors because they get repopulated from the state databases.
Well, that's exactly what I was describing.
Yep, that's what I thought.
We hear from McCulloch County they removed them, but we know it's chasing your tail. So our legislature could start fixing what they've created by passing the bill that mandates you use that statewide registry of death. I mean, how absurd to say we're not going to let right hand tell left that we have dead people on the rolls locally for voting or in the jury pool.
And oftentimes it's emotional, too, when people, their loved one died, their husband of 52 years dies, and they get a jury summons. It's just like a slap in your face that your own state that you've given tens of thousands of tax dollars to doesn't take that seriously, that they're no longer with us. Or am I too emotional here?
It's traumatizing when you go to vote and they flip through and they see their deceased spouse or child on there.
Yeah, well, it's just unbelievable that one database isn't talking to another database and that none of this is getting cleaned up. I mean, and obviously, if the election rolls are dirty, it doesn't matter if any of the other voter databases are cleaned up, because they're going to pull from that dirty election database. And then you've got the circular firing squad, right? The state is saying to the county, you're responsible for cleaning up the voter rolls. And the county's like, well, okay, I'm only going to do what I want to do. And then the federal government's coming down and saying to the state, but you have responsibility to make sure that work is getting done.
And technically, I believe in many cases, the local officials in the counties have their hands tied by what the General Assembly has done. I mean, they should have to accept responsibility. They need to immediately pass the bill that you're required to utilize all the data that we're spending a lot of money on. The state has an RFP out right now for a new statewide voter system. I don't know if it's a replacement or a major amendment, but I'm assuming that's tens of millions of dollars. And that system needs to have advisory committee members to come in and talk about the real life that's impacting local government, in this case, the jury pool. But the other thing is our state does not communicate with the Justice Department. They've denied the request to let them assist them to have an accurate voter roll, which would show if the DMV needs to improve their process, because in the end, the Secretary of State has the largest impact on both the jury pool data and on the voter roll data. The vast majority of people.
Well, Alexei Janelius, I think he's too worried about trying to run for mayor.
He has $18 million saved up so far.
Yeah.
And then he posts these videos of him working out, ripped, wearing tight T-shirts or no T-shirt at all. It's lovely. It's exciting. Yeah.
I guess
and he wants to be our next mayor of the city of Chicago.
Well, it would be tremendous if they would allow the Social Security Administration and the state database at DHS to assist them in having accuracy, because technically we've learned, it looks like Illinois, the only way anyone can determine the constitutional rights, both under the state constitution and the federal, as defined by the U.S. Supreme Court, are not being violated. Do we really want Illinois to have major criminal convictions overturned because the politics of the state said we just don't care? I mean, that's the concern. They need to fix this, and they need to cooperate with two pieces of legislation that are a first start, but then allow all the data. I mean, the federal government issues your Social Security number. It's not like it's being compromised to share it with those federal agencies that could notify that they have deceased people on the records if they're not catching it through death records in state if they died out of state or out of country.
Well, 27 people, 13.5%, were reportedly 100 years or older. 52 people, or 26%, were reportedly 90 years or older. This is on the 200 list of juries. The oldest person was 116 years. Hey, but you know what?
The oldest living person in Illinois is 112, I believe. And I believe she died recently. I read her obituary. It was lovely.
Well, in 2020 election, I looked at the voter rolls in DuPage County. There was a 121-year-old and two 119-year-olds. They would have been the three oldest people in the entire world, and they all lived in DuPage County.
And
that
again,
would have
they
made
have
the
their
news.
hands tied by the General Assembly. that they cannot pursue this without a certified copy of a record.
Wow. And they voted?
Yeah, they voted. One of them even walked into the voting booth, and then I was told it was all just one big, huge mistake. I didn't really see what I saw in the data. Okay. Anyway, Willard, I want to thank you so much for coming in on this really important story, because it's not just your election rolls, it's your jury pool rolls that are dirty, and it's going to create a havoc in the courts if we don't clean it up. So I really appreciate your insight and your wisdom and your knowledge, and we will definitely have you back to talk about this more.
Thanks for amplifying the issue. Bye.
Thank you. Coming up on The Real Story, how do I get out of jury duty? And we'll take your phone calls, 312-642-5600.
Make your voice heard. Call or text The Real Story at 312-642-5600.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. I spent years on the mound giving everything I had, and now I feel every inning in my knees, back, and shoulders. But I didn't want surgery, and I sure didn't want to be sidelined. That's why I turned to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Christie and his team use regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No surgery, no meds, and no downtime.
Whether you're teeing off at the club or chasing the grandkids around, QC Kinetics helps you get back to doing what you love.
Call QC Kinetics now and schedule your free consultation. Natural joint pain relief with real results.
Don't let the pain slow you down. I didn't, and neither should you. My friends at QC Kinetics, they'll take care of you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 312-827-6261. That's 312-827-6261. 312-827-6261.
Only a few short months ago, you heard silver was up 40%. Well, silver is now up over 260%. Fox Valley Coins saw it coming, and they're ready to help. Unlike dealers that only buy or only sell, Fox Valley Coins does both. No middleman. That means you get the best deal on the dollar. Selling? Fox Valley Coins pays top dollar for rare coins, scrap gold and silver, bars, proof sets, and entire collections of any size, going through every item right in front of you. Cash, check, or wire transfer. Buying? Fox Valley Coins carries all major gold, silver, and platinum physical products. Complete discretion. Your business stays your business. Fox Valley Coins. Family-owned integrity since 1981. On Route 59, one light north of I-88 at the Naperville-Warrenville border. Fox Valley Coins. Buy smart, sell smart.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, got a text message. Amy, don't worry. Jury duty is the best, in all capital letters.
I've never been called.
How is that possible?
I've lived here 34 years. I've never been called for jury duty, yet my two of my kids who were in the military got called for jury duty. They're like, sorry.
Well, so there's a phone number on here, but I don't know if I can leave a voicemail message saying I can't go.
Maybe
because
my
I have to shoot a
file's
commercial
flagged.
and then I have 4,000 different jobs and I can't stay there in Maywood until 4:30 because I have to coach kids. And
what are you going to do?
I need your help. 312-642-5600. Now it says that you have to wear appropriate clothing, no shorts. So I was thinking I do have a pair of Daisy Dukes from back in the day. I could throw those on.
With your cowboy boots?
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. That's staple, Jeanne. Come on. And I have a MAGA hat. And I could say
I dare you.
This is the best line ever. He wouldn't have gotten arrested if he didn't do the crime. How do I like that? You like that? Because I've been summoned to jury duty, but I always got out of it in the past because sometimes you know people or you work in the media, because back then, before Oprah was a juror, remember that when she was famously on a jury at 26 and Cal, and she was so happy to be part of the process, and then she went out to dinner with all her fellow jurors and all that gobbledygook. But before all of that, if you were a part of the media, you couldn't be part of a jury because then you'd be reporting inside the courtroom, or you could.
Well, we
They
can
didn't
get
trust
Marcus
you.
to get you a press pass if
I
you
have
need,
a press pass, but
get out of jury duty.
I have one.
Okay, well,
but I don't think that works anymore.
Well, let's re-up it. Try it.
All right, let's go to Bob in Buffalo Grove. He has a story about jury duty. Bob, you didn't wear your Daisy Dukes into court, did you?
No, but I got called. You know how old I am. I
don't want to see you in Daisy Dukes.
I got called a couple of times. I only had to serve on one jury, but pre-COVID, I got a questionnaire. I don't know if you ever got a questionnaire from the jury people.
No.
It gave. It said, is there anything that you have that would preclude you from attending, like, health issues or disability? But the key one for me was if you're over 70 and don't wish to serve, you can get out.
Oh,
okay. Great.
Text message, Amy, your kids are grown. Stop it with being a victim. And I said, LOL, but they're in college and I need to pay for it. I need to pay for their
Well, I think
expenses.
they upped the jury duty pay. I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's some bill about employers, the difference in what you get paid. I forgot the bill, whatever, but you do get paid something.
Well, you get, Quinn McCarthy, morning show producer, I talked to him and he said that he got a $30 check and they didn't pick him and he was out by noon.
It could be an interesting trial.
Well, that's the thing too, but I'm going to be out of town, so I can't be in two places at once. Maybe I can call this number and just see if I could postpone it for another month.
I mean, if it's like a Medina trial, you've already reported on that one.
I know. So
then, maybe we just need to report on everything. You're like, sorry, we covered that story. I can't do it.
I can't. And do you like my MAGA hat? All right. Thanks so much for joining us. We are going to have a wonderful show tomorrow, a surprise guest, but you're going to have to listen in because it's somebody you're going to want to hear for. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. God bless you and God bless America.